SMT Nation, we back. Nation, I want to discuss this new deal between AT&T and Ericsson. And I mean, it's big news, right? It has national networking reach and it has industry reach. You know, it's going to impact a lot of things here. So I want to talk about that angle of this and kind of discuss, you know, how competitive forces are going to be now with this type of deal. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I link the press release, joint press release from AT&T and Ericsson here in the description, and ways to support the SMT. If you want to show your appreciation for all the great content here on the channel, ways to do that are in the description. All right, so with this partnership, you know, AT&T is going all in with Ericsson and Fujitsu. We'll throw them in there, right? They're an important piece to this. You know, AT&T going away from Nokia means they have one single radio provider across the entire country, and that's Ericsson. Now, my concerns, I've got a few, and I talked about them in a previous video, but one thing I wanted to discuss today in this video, and that's the competitor angle. So T-Mobile and Verizon, what does this mean for them? Well, objectively speaking, T-Mobile is watching like a hawk, right? They're probably discussing this and thinking to themselves, how can they benefit from this? And I think T-Mobile can. I think they can absolutely pin Nokia to the wall and basically get whatever deal they want. And Nokia would basically have to just accept the terms of that deal. You know, I mean, literally a slave to T-Mobile in this. Because Nokia lost the Verizon contract. Nokia has lost the AT&T contract. They're left with nothing except a little bit of T-Mobile. And T-Mobile has been shifting towards Ericsson for several years, you know, in the whole era post-merger. So they really have no choice, or else they're basically out of North America. I don't know what they're doing in Canada. Can't be that much, even if they're there. I don't know what they're doing in Mexico, if they even have a presence there. I don't know. But they're done in the U.S. if they were to lose T-Mobile. So that completely minimizes them already. But I mean, wow. Could you imagine the leverage that T-Mobile has in negotiations with Nokia right now? So that's definitely happening. That is definitely a factor, right? And I think with respect to Verizon, you're not happy to see this at all. You've moved away from Nokia, right? You're focused on Ericsson and Samsung. But Ericsson is building a facility specifically for the needs of AT&T. I mean, how much attention is the AT&T network going to receive from Ericsson? Right? Ericsson having national control of the RAN side of the AT&T network. Is that going to impact, you know, outputs and manufacturing and inventories at Verizon for their upgrades? I mean, Verizon has a lot of work to do outside of metro areas, so they're still upgrading their network. They still need gear. I mean, how's that supply chain? So that's a factor. And of course, negotiations, losing a competitor in Nokia, that's not going to help Verizon in any way. How's that going to help them? AT&T could be like, you know, our price is our price. You know, we got AT&T and T-Mobile scaling with us, right? And Samsung's going to be like, what are you going to do? Go back to Nokia? Right? So Verizon's probably pissed about the direction of all this. And T-Mobile's probably leveraging like hell in those negotiations. Now, I could imagine, you know, Nokia would say to T-Mobile, show us your quote from, you know, Ericsson. But do you get what I'm saying? This is one hell of a conundrum right now. Being on two options, you know, getting rid of a third, man, that's tough. I will tell you, Nokia was not good enough. Radio failures, overheating, lack of performance, being behind the competition, both Samsung and Ericsson, right? Being well behind them in a lot of ways, especially in O-RAN and vRAN. As you could see, that was important to AT&T, and it was important to Verizon too, right? Tell me your thoughts and opinions on this. Am I off on this? Do you guys think I'm, you know, kind of reaching here? Or do you think some of what I said has credence and maybe some legitimacy to it? What do you think? I don't have, you know, people in the know that close, you know, intimately with these companies. So we just use our all the information we have and deduce reasoning and, you know, make the most sense of it that we can. So I look forward to reading your comments. Drop them down in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.